And you are muted, sir.
Perfect. That's why you got partnerships. Well, the first one, Yolanda and Nikki, thank you so much for unmuting people without me being able to ask you to, because y'all couldn't hear me. That was fun. I received that. But my name is Dan Allen. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our live Q&A with myself and my partner, Mr. Tito Avila. Mr. Avila, can you hear me?
Now.
Okay. So, right before we get going for our thing, so with this, we have a business project from the people that's going to watch us on the recording, and in our business project, we help people get better at their trading, right? You're trading the currency markets, Forex is what they call it. And hold on. Right before we start for our question and answers, it just was on my spirit to take a walk through the life of Bitcoin. It just hit me about 10 minutes ago. And hopefully if Mr. Rambis is on, he can add some content to it. But this is a daily chart, right? So every one of these candles that just look like squiggly lines is a day, 24 hours. And I know what it was, what hit me. I was in a Uber yesterday or the day before, and the guy asked me about Bitcoin, right? So when he heard I traded currency, he go right to asking me about my opinion of Bitcoin. And his view of Bitcoin is kind of like, he looked at it as a stock or something that you buy today and hold it, and it appreciates, which is like in real estate, you buy a property for 100,000 in 30 years is worth 150,000. That appreciation happened kind of organically or because of the market, nothing that you did, right? So but as he was asking me, and I'm giving him whatever value, hopefully I share it with him, it dawned on me that a lot of people, so I want to change that for everybody here today, don't understand that Bitcoin, BTC, functions as like a Forex pair, as a currency, right? It's the Bitcoin price versus the price of the dollar and their exchange rate. So when you hear that Bitcoin is at 56,000, which Mr. Rambis told me was going to 50,000, that's a part of this conversation today, it's that versus the $1 in exchange, right, from the US dollar. So for every 56,000 US dollars, you would exchange it to get 1 Bitcoin. That's what the 56,000 means. How many US dollars would it take to get 1 Bitcoin? So although it's talked about like it's a stock, like Apple is at 128 per share, it's really Bitcoin is at this much per US dollars per 1 Bitcoin. So right about here was when Rambis and I started talking about helping people learn how to trade. So it was April the 17th, 2020. I thought he was going to tell me about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency actually, and it ended up being about Forex. So this is our journey since we started helping people learn how to trade. But if you look back here to 2000, I missed like the last little bit. I didn't want to go to the weekly chart. So this goes back to about 2009, but it's just like this. It's this little line, right? Where if you look at my chart, Tito, can you see my chart clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you see that 311.73 to the right?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. So as I'm moving around in this story, to the right is the price of how many US dollars it would take to buy 1 whole Bitcoin, right? So, and this is a super wacky looking funny S-curve, but so Rambis is giving me a bunch of fundamentals. We had this conversation probably November that I'm about to regurgitate. So he's giving me something called the white papers. I still got to read. And he was giving me fundamentals about what was going on with Bitcoin. And then this was the part, this was the high. Like this was December 2017. And he's telling me about what was happening here. Then I watched it go down. And as he started talking to me, I put a Fibonacci on it, right? Because I was looking at this. And I'm not going to do that in this conversation, but just all of this was a whole bunch of what was going on with the acceptance of Bitcoin. And before we had this conversation that I'm giving y'all today, I didn't know that Bitcoin was really functioning like a pair, like a forex pair. So we're talking, and as he's telling me the story, he pulled this up on it wasn't TradingView. He pulled it up on another whatever he trades, right? And then I was able to pull it up on TradingView. And once I seen this 6-letter structure, my whole view of Bitcoin changed right there, because I know how to do this part, right? So then that's why the Fibonacci went on it. And this is probably I think it was a 60% retracement, right? So all that was happening. And again, we were over here having a conversation, but we were having the fundamental. He was just teaching me about the pair. So Cisco asked a question, a partner of mine, might have been last week or whenever, he was asking about how to identify when you're at the top of a run, kind of was a question. And if you look, this is to the left of this time, this is to the beginning of Earth, right? Bitcoin wasn't ever higher than this before this time to the left. So before it took this little bump up in December of 2013, which is funny because this is the November, December time, end of the year, and so was this one. And really, so was this one. So that don't mean anything, but it just stood out to me that right about the end of the year is when this thing happened. So either way, so 2013, it took this bump, it took this ride up. What is this at? Let me see what this is. Okay, all right, okay. So then December 2017, then it took the crash down to look like $3,000 Bitcoin. Then it went up to, this is now June of 2019, it went up to about 15,000, right? So when Rambus and I was talking about helping people learn how to trade, it was at about 7,000. And back here, which doesn't seem like a long time ago now, but price-wise it is, he was telling me that Bitcoin was gonna go to 50,000. Didn't care what he was talking about because I didn't want the asset allocation model, right? I would rather buy a property, let it appreciate. So I wasn't appreciating what we were saying. But right about here, I started to get it as it's a currency, just without a country, right? There's no central bank backing it. So now when we started to take this walk now, and I got one screen today, so I'm kind of handicapped. And I'm almost done, Tito. I just wanted to, now this is our journey together, Rambus and I. And so right about this time, we're talking about it because it's headed back up to that high, right? So we had a point of reference. So somewhere before that high. So we're talking around here, and he's telling me he's going to get to the high again. And I'm saying, okay, that's decent. Educated, and now Bitcoin is here. So Cisco, this is uncharted territory for the universe of digital currency. So to get caught at the top, it'd be easy. Like if you brought here and it was a trade and it ran down here, let me see how much is that. And I'm gonna get off this in a second. This is, if you would have brought up here and it ran down on you, that is 13,000 pips. So although it's going to create a bunch of new millionaires for certain people, it still got little dips that break your bank if you don't know what you're doing. So that's all for me, Tito. I'm turning this call over to you, sir. I just had a Bitcoin moment, and I wanted to let Mr. Rambus know that I was paying attention and let everybody here know that it operates as a trading pair that just is on steroids.
Roger that,
sir.
I know that's right. Thank you. Yeah. It's fascinating, man. Actually, it's funny because yesterday I was looking at it, and then I looked away, and when I looked back, it had gone up like $5,000. It's like, what is that? I'm like searching for news. I'm like, what's going on here, man? Like this is unlike anything I've ever heard of. So yeah, there's a lot of fascinating things happening right now all over. So let me get my screen up. Where is it? There we go.
Kim, I just made you the co-host. If you can let people in for me too, that'd be super decent.
Okay, here we go. All right. So yeah, welcome everybody to the Q&A. If you got a question, please feel free to unmute yourself or drop it in the chat. Let's see here, we got the chat going. All right. There we go. Okay. How many people here got Bitcoin? Any amount of Bitcoin, even if it's $10.
I got some now, Tito, but I use it for utilitarian reasons. I move money back and forth, not just looking for it to appreciate.
That's right.
That's appreciating.
It's amazing to think where it was at a year ago, right?
Oh, absolutely.
A year ago today. And it's ironic because I think it's a really good case study for what happens in economies, because when you look at a year ago, so let's see here. So we're talking about right around here. And then it dipped down in March. Look at this. It's what's interesting about this to me is that the U.S. economy, or let's say the world economy, was in a very tumultuous state. Typically, when that happens, the alternative stores of value, such as gold or cryptocurrency or whatever it may be, they usually surge, right? This was interesting, in my opinion, to see that Bitcoin came down into the 3,000s again, March of last year. That's something to look at.
What that spoke to me is that the market doesn't yet really look at it like they look at gold. It's So when they had less money and they got scared, they wasn't speculating on cryptocurrency at the time.
They just started liquidating.
I need to get to something I can play with. So
right.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to look at, though. Right, the DXY, just so you all understand, the DXY is a representation of the value of the dollar weighted against other currencies. And this dip here on the dollar kind of coincides with that dip in Bitcoin, where we got down into the 3,000s less than a year ago. It's fascinating.
It should have been opposite.
It should have been opposite, but I think it's like what you're saying. The uncertainty was such that it actually had the. It's like it went so far off the scale. The fear, the uncertainty, and doubt went so far off the scale. It came back to the other. It came up on the other end and just flipped and mirrored. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that. It's something I think about sometimes. Like, wow.
Very important. Very important when you understand money and investing. Like, there's no technical reason that could happen.
100%. 100%. Very unique circumstance altogether. Probably unlike anything that's ever been seen. Nothing like any typical market crash or typical depression in the markets or anything like that.
Can you go to gold for that same time period against the DXY to kind of illustrate to see what happened with it? Just for my own curiosity, my question.
Similar. People looks like, well, let me see. So
when the dollar went down, gold went up.
There's more correlation, I guess, more familiarity with this medium. Yep.
Right, exactly. When it went down, gold spiked, as it should.
Right. Yeah, this is more typical for sure. It's very interesting. So yeah, guys, if you got questions, please unmute yourself, or you can drop it in the chat here. Let's talk. Let's talk. We're already at 15 past the hour.
That was my fault. I went on a little tangent.
But sauce is sauce, man. We'll take it. Good stuff.
I like your top down. When I normally use the compare, I go side by side. I may have to dance with this up down model as well. See how, because the way that one of the beautiful things about this compare, if y'all notice, put the arrow back on. Yeah, that one is that the time that bottom as his mouse is at the top, that bottom vertical line is going to be the exact time as the top vertical line. That's where the compare helps. So when I do mine, they side by side, and I see the times matching, but the way you got it to where they're right up or down from each other might work better for me. Well, I mean, we'll find out, but that's super decent. I ain't think of it like this. I think you've done this before.
Yeah, it's for me, it's kind of like with, you know, you got your phone the sideways for watching a video or something like that.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I look
absolutely.
at it.
I see it. I see it.
Just helps me out visually.
Yeah, I'm gonna play with it. Definitely.
And we got a quiet crowd today.
I think the Bitcoin thing, that's one of the things about leading with a bias is that I found. That's why normally I just use the quiet silence at the beginning till we get wrapped up. Because when you start to talk about one thing, the listeners start to think about that thing, and they start thinking about the question about that thing. So, you know, what helps is that is if you're coming onto the call and you've been doing your trading or your back office syllabus stuff to write down your question when it's fresh in your brain then, and already have it ready for now. But so
there's a question.
Yeah, we got a question from Devin Evans. Do you advise to invest now? And if so, how?
Look, start getting on the cryptocurrency back office stuff and start a demo.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we don't really advise.
Yeah.
But yes, start using the resources that Epic has provided to us, because they are extremely competitive and valuable in that the way that they've worked the material, the interface, everything is cutting edge. It's pushing the envelope of what trading education looks like in the digital space and on the internet. So that would be first and foremost. If you're a part of this, and I would think that you're in the I quadrant, as we call it, being that you're here and you want to talk trading, I would say definitely, without a doubt, it's a no-brainer. If you could start utilizing the educational materials in the back office, if you haven't already. Here, Mr. Allen's gonna give you an example of what that looks like.
Where to go, right? So because that question makes me think that that somebody else needs to see this. So right from here is Epic University. If you go to your university, go to enter the university. Crypto Masterclass. That's where I would suggest you start. Find out what live sessions Mr. Unemployable does, because he does something with crypto a lot, and then get a demo account and then start. But that's my answer. I mean, anything else, I might not sound nice, so I want to sound nice.
So it's not, so the app, you mentioned that you hadn't been able to download the app. So really it's not so much an app. It's not a mobile app per se. It's just, it's mostly via computer. You're going to log in, you're going to see this material. I don't believe that it's as accessible or comprehensive if you're using your phone. I'm sure they will get to that point in the near future. But yeah, you just want to, I think that a lot of times, a lot of people overthink it. You know what? I really appreciate that question because it's really a loaded question. When somebody says, you advise to invest now, and if so, how? 100% of the time, I'm going to say, yeah, invest in yourself 100% of the time. What does that mean for you? That might be different than what it means for the next person. Invest in yourself. So this is ultimately my perspective on what we're all doing here right now. And every week when we come in here and we just share, now we're here learning as well, like when this is not just a teaching opportunity, this is all of us coming together to find different things to reflect on. And for me, this is one way of investing in myself, right? So I could be spending my Saturday morning with my family, taking a break. I get up pretty early during the week, so this is like an opportunity for me to kind of just, take it a little slower on Saturdays. But I'm here because I get so much out of this experience. And so many times people will ask a question that will really deepen my own research and my own learning. So this is one form of investing in yourself. Whatever that means for you, that is the thing to dig into. And what I would personally advise if we are advising anything in this opportunity.
Mine is get a demo account and get to it.
If you want to trade, get on demo.
Yeah, get on a demo and press a button. Just see what it do. If I take a buy now, let me see it and start to journal what your experiences are, because demo and live, except for your trade psychology, is going to be the same. So if you can do it in demo, you can theoretically do it live. It looked like you're talking, is it Devin? Am I saying it right? If you unmute yourself, we can have the conversation, but it looked like you got, I see your eyes, I see your, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Well, actually, that's my son's name, but I'm Tamika, but thank you. I was just saying thank you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, cut on demo and just start swinging at them. Just see what it do.
Okay.
Then back test your swinging.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Anybody have any trading questions, any experiences you've had, or things you've just seen, this past week or recently that you just, you want to use this opportunity to talk about? Oh. All right, we got a question. When starting to trade, how much to start with?
How much you willing to lose? Whatever you want to lose.
Yeah, once you go live anyway. If you have not started trading at all, I think it's like Mr. Allen said, you want to start with not real money. You want to start with the practice account. For those of you that are not as familiar with the broker space, brokers have an advantage in that what they typically have to offer with their services is a practice account where they give you however much fake money really you want to trade with, and you trade with that in the markets and just kind of start getting the hang of it. If you haven't done that yet, that's what Mr. Allen is referring to. Get to that, because going through those motions is going to spark more questions and more seeking and more growth ultimately, right? So get to doing that. If you've already done that and now you're ready to go, into a live account and you're curious how much to start with, but yeah, the rule of thumb is however much you're willing to lose, right? In the process of learning how to trade and seeking gains, that's what you should start with.
Mm-hmm. If I'm right, I'm going to earn money. If I'm wrong, I'm going to lose whatever my stop loss is. If I don't have a stop loss, I'm going to lose all of it. And then you start adding risk management. Then you start adding, but just if you're putting money up, in a speculative market, it's that there's a possibility of loss. So the mitigate, which is a banking word for me, to do the best for that not to happen, or to switch out the odds in your favor, is to do it in demo, which is now you get the skill set without the gain at all, but get yourself ready to be able to have the competence and confidence that you have a higher probability of winning than losing. But when it comes to how much should you invest, whatever you can stand to lose.
100%. We got another question. Do you trade in TradingView or Metatrader?
I trade in Metatrader, or I also trade in C Trader as well. But to give you my answer, but for this process, I do not trade myself in TradingView. I chart on TradingView, and then I trade either on another screen or now on the phone. 4 months ago, I had never taken a phone trade. I'm kind of getting the flow now. So I can see why it's recommended. First, it looked stupid. It looked complicated. And I was happy with my desktop trading. But so Metatrader 4 now from the phone and or desktop.
No doubt. The vast majority of traders are trading on MT4, so Metatrader is the kind of popular default trading medium. I'm kind of a rarity in that regard, where because the broker that I happen to use for a lot of my applications is supported by TradingView. I do a lot of my trading on TradingView, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, to me personally, it has less to do with preference of the interface or the medium and more to do with what is supported where, right? So in the US, we have significant official limitations on what we can, what brokers we can use, and so on and so forth. So we have to just basically, make our own decisions on how we want to go about approaching our trading. So for me, it doesn't really make a difference what app that I'm using. At the end of the day, they are really the same thing. The vast majority of people are going to do their charting on TradingView. Not even everybody does their charting on TradingView. There's other applications as well for that, but most people will do their charting on TradingView. And in my opinion, that's really all that matters. If you're doing technical analysis, if you're trading according to the methods that the Epic team is teaching, you're probably going to do your charting on TradingView. And that's, in my opinion, what matters most.
Let me speak to that real fast, for me, right? Because we're merging together in this epic story, right? And Coach Max is she's the captain of the ship. And so once Coach Max says, we're going to chart on TradingView, because this is that part of it. If you're not charting on TradingView, we probably don't work together. Because to me, it becomes a thing of not being coachable from a Coach Max perspective, and we're paying to have Coach Max kind of show us the way. So just so I can say, because it's documented, that if I'm helping you or we're working together any kind of way, and you show me something that's not TradingView, I'm probably reevaluating our relationship for the short term. So now how you click the button, MT4, I have a C Trader account with Pepperstone. So now if you look that up, that should mean something to you later on. But so I'm super versatile with what was happening. And we have another side of our project, which is like a franchise model. And with the franchise model, you don't want to put barbecue sauce on your Big Mac when you own the store just because it's your store. So there's a franchise play to it as well. And so when we get to teaching and coaching and listening to the other coaches, we all can have the TradingView experience, and it's duplicatable and is mirrored and same all across the board. So that's the MT4 part is not as serious for me, but the TradingView part, there might be 15 other ways to chart. If we're working together, you're coming in this environment, TradingView would be the one we'll use for that reason, because Coach Max says so. And it's decent. Like Tito, TradingView might have been one of my top 2 buys of 2020.
Man, it's 100% worth it. 100% worth it, without a doubt. No question.
Question.
Is there?
If you go back to EU, on, let me see what day is this. On the 17th, on EU 17, around 11 o'clock Pacific time. It was 2300, 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, PM. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Tito,
Pacific.
you're not in PM, so that'd be 2 a.m. on the next day for you.
Right. That's right. So yeah, right here. All right.
You see the long up candle?
That's right. Yep.
And you go 1, 2, 3. You go to the low high. You see the low high candle.
So lower high candle is going to be like somewhere around here, right? That what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Let me see your screen, because I see you. I don't see your screen.
Oh, you don't see my screen?
No, I see your screen, Tito. I see your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me go. Let me fix that, Tito.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you're talking about
This
one right here, right?
Yeah, well, I was looking at the entry because I know that I had to really look at when would be entries, and the only reason why I started to really find entries is because I started to look at the charts of different formations, and
Okay.
if you take that low high and draw a trend line down. So you should go right on from the low high to on top of the first big, which would be, let me see, I can look at yours.
When you say draw a trend line down.
No, yeah, go to right there. Go right.
Up?
No. Here we go. We're gonna walk it. Where you are, go to your left.
What's the question? What's the question, Ron? I'm trying to give I'm hearing you explaining the trade. One, I wouldn't enter trade on the 1 hour. The 1 hour isn't for that, from how back to Coach Max talking about. But what do you?
What I'm saying is that there are different patterns,
okay,
that will allow you to know your entry points. And that one right there on the hour, because I was on the hour and I was looking at it, it was the triangle.
Okay.
And it was literally, boom, there it was right there. So for me, I was like, okay, cool. Start, because my thing is like, when do I get in? Where do I get in?
So
and you looking at the dojis, you're looking at
Ron, let me jump in. So Coach Max, I'm gonna start back from there. She would say, find your bias and get an idea off the hour and make your entry on the 5. So I got Coach Max saying to make entry on the 5, and I got Ron saying, well, I'll make my entry on the hour. I'm gonna go with Coach Max 10 times out of 10. So
no, it's not that I'm saying to do it on an hour. I just said that I found it on the hour.
Right. So then what did you find? Where's the triangle at? So we can go down to the 5 and look for the entry. The setup is on the hour 1,000%, but I wouldn't enter on the hour. So when you're saying that you see a triangle and you enter, it still sounds like you're saying you're entered on the hour. So where's the triangle at so we can identify it with you? And then let's go down to the 5 to find out where's the sniper entry.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you go, okay, and I'm hearing this, I give you the numbers. 1.20495.
Okay. Tito, go back to the hour first, Tito, and put that on the ray. Make a ray at that ray line at that 2 o'clock you got, and then make it anywhere, and then go ahead. But just make a ray, and then click the ray, hit the wheel. Yeah.
What was the number?
My entry point on the entry point that I see on the hour is 1.20474.
Now, as long as you hear with me, Rod, is that you said you don't enter on the hour, but then you said you should get entry on the hour. So that's confusing to me. But we got the spot, okay.
Let me pause you right there and just ask real quick because I'm curious. I feel like we're on the edge of our seats here. What was the outcome? Let's start with that. What happened on this trade?
The outcome was it actually broke through, and that was.
What does that mean? You won? You lost?
No, I won.
Okay, good. I see that. So the question then is,
What I'm saying is that the times I look at it and trying to find the entry points, because I know that in the beginning I got very frustrated. It's like, okay, when are the entry points? And because Coach Max was talking about getting the flags, diagrams, that was right there. So what I'm getting at is I'm letting you know that the Coach Max helped me to find the entry points. Due to you gotta know the candles as well as the patterns.
that's right. Continuation patterns and reversal patterns. Yes, 100%. Now, as far as how that applies here, you're saying you saw that like on a lower time frame at your entry point?
No, I entry on the lower time frame. I saw it on the hour.
Okay. Did you use the 20 pip and dip indicator?
Yes, I did.
Perfect.
That's why I said, that's why I was talking about the low high, because the low high is what actually started it.
I see. So you saw this right here. That's what you're talking about when you say the triangle,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's correct.
So Tito, if you can, however you see it, can you draw the triangle you're talking about? Because if I'm a new trader, I hear the word triangle, I don't see no triangle.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
So
take it right there. Take that down. Then take the go to your left, and I'll give you the number to that one. That was at 1.20249. That's where the bottom is. No, start there. No. Start there.
Hold on one second. We're going into a training about a triangle that's nowhere in what Coach Max talks about. So I want to stop here because we have a whole audience that we're recording. This is turning from you having a question, Ron, to you sharing some level of super insight. And I don't want to have people trying to find triangles for the next 3 weeks. So I want to stop here if that's all right. Tito, put the 20 pip and dip indicator on it. Because right now we're going 180 degrees away from everything we would have done on Epic for the last 10 months. And Ryan, I appreciate the place where you're coming from, but you're training right now. This isn't a training platform.
It's not that I'm training, Alan. This is my question. When she's talking about entry points.
Okay.
Okay. Entry points is one of the keyest things to get into a trade. Is that right or wrong?
Sniper entry would be the term we would use, and it would be off of your confluence, which are 3 or more confirmations. So the term you're using, we would go change the vocabulary words so we're all saying the same stuff, right? Back to us there's a franchise model as well. That's why I'm stopping the triangle conversation. Not that it's not smart or all the things to go with that, but if I'm going to be talking to 300 people a week, I'd rather have 300 people understanding the top-down analysis, which it sounded like you did, and then the entry from the confluence perspective. So I will be asking you, what 3 confirmations did you take to come in? One of them would be a triangle, which is what I hear clearly.
The lower high, the low low. Go to your low low right there. Right there you go. There you go, Tito. You took the low low to your low high, and it formed it. And from that point on,
Do me a favor. Stop making a triangle. Let's start with that. We got too many people on the call. I hear you hearing me around, but you're not hearing me. We're not going to help the group here today trying to figure out how to make a triangle, because then you got to train on what you even mean by a triangle, right? So just help me out. We can get to what your question is, which is how to go find the entry, right? That's the question.
Find the entry.
So there you go. Don't use a triangle for this call so we can just get to that part. So I don't want to not sound nice, but it sounds like we're ignoring what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a triangle. At least what I see personally wouldn't call it a triangle anyway. But yeah, I think that's already kind of like next step. First step would be, where do I even enter to begin with? It looks like you got a nice entry, and that's why you won that trade. So it's good to see people using the 20 pips indicator and applying, the methodology of Coach Max. And ultimately, the entry is 90% of the battle.
Hold up, Tito. Thank you but hold on. Thank you very much. But so you have that higher high at 1.204, right? Right there to your left, Tito.
Mm-hmm.
The green to your right. I'm to your left. No, the higher high with the green box on it. To your left. You're going to the right.
Yep.
There you go. Then you made a lower low at 1.20366. Okay. Then you made a higher high after that. Then you made a higher low. That will be your entry as it bounced off the 50. Because now you have broken market structure because you went from a lower low to a higher low. So now you're in a bias setting. You're bouncing off the 50 and you're above the 50, which is what Coach Max talks about, to be able to take a buy above the 50, take sells below the 50. The 50 is that blue curve line. So that's what you would be talking about, Ryan. It would be that it broke market structure, which is when it went from the lower low to the higher low. The higher low happened around a little after 305. So 305, we hit a higher low and then bounced off the 50 and then it went north. And then you would be looking for your 20 pips or whatever other take profit. And studying trading, when you hear triangle, you're looking for a symmetrical triangle or you're looking for a right triangle. And they don't just make any old kind of way. The fact that something looks like something to a person's eye, we all got different biases in what we see and don't see. And the term triangle is when price is condensing from a higher and a low going to the right to either make a symmetrical triangle or a right triangle. And they have certain actual things that have to be in place for them to be in. So just like a double top, when I used to say double bottom, so Tito, can you go down to that lower low at 1.20 right there? When I used to say double, a double bottom, I thought it was that this red and this green candle were together and they were doubled up and then it was at the bottom. That's not what a double bottom is, right? Is that so trading terms actually mean something to the industry you're in, right? So if I say a basis point, that means something in banking, right? So words matter, right? So
100%. That's why I personally wouldn't call this a triangle. That's just me.
You're drawing a wedge.
That's right.
Like that's what I'm saying. So it's not just it's not common sense terms. It's actually industry terms that you apply. And I'm from North Philadelphia. I got a bunch of what makes sense to me stuff. But when I'm talking technical, it's the terms of that industry. And again, as you go to different industries, things, if we say put and call, that don't mean anything here inside of Forex, but it means something inside of options.
Can you tell me?
Hey, Brenda.
Hi there. Can you tell me what the 3 confirmations were that led you to the entry point? Okay,
well, I didn't take this trade, and there's about 7 different confirmations. So the first one would have been, if I'm looking here, it would have been the fact that it hit that higher low that we talked about. And I don't have 2 more to give you right now because we didn't build this trade, right? But I look at the top-down analysis. I look at the bias based off of when I did that top-down analysis. And then I like the fact that we're in the euro, we're opening up at the beginning of the London. So the time of day matters for me. But you would look for a master class from Ryan and Max. And if I was home, I have it written up on my wall, the 7 confirmations that Ryan gave out. So if you put this question in the GP group, Brenda, are you in a GP group?
No.
Okay. Who helped you get started? Who's your upline?
Ava Williams, Ava, and Ethan Clemens.
Perfect. So if you text Mr. Clemens this question, he will get it to Mr. Rambus, right? And then
Yes.
Rambus will task me to put those 7 confirmations in the GP when I get back from this trip. And I'll have it in there by Tuesday morning. And then Rambus can get it to Clemens, and how else they get it. So get it to Ethan, he'll get it to Rambus, and then I'll make sure I get it. I'm gonna put it in the GP group anyway. Rambus is hearing me, so he'll task me. And then it getting back to you is most likely gonna happen from Rambus getting it to Clemens or something like that.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Is that fair?
Fair enough. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we got, let's see, we're 45 past the hour. We got a couple other questions from the chat here. What type of trader do you recommend a new trader start? Sniper, day trader, etc. Well, that's a question that honestly only you can answer for yourself, because everybody's gonna have different style, strategies, preferences, and so on. So I would say, for me, what helped me figure out what kind of trading I was going to resonate with the most was to open my mind net as wide as possible, take as much in as possible, and then look at everything that you know, that I've been absorbing, and make a decision based on which one of those ways of trading, and then what currency pairs and so on and so forth resonated with me the most. So for example, for me, when I came into the Forex space on a more serious basis, Coach Ryan's style of trading Euro USD was something that did resonate with me significantly. And so as a result, from that point, I shifted and evolved my method of trading into more of an early morning day trading style on the pairs that are relevant to those hours. So that's just my personal journey, but everyone's going to have their own individual story. This is about finding yourself within this trading space and what works for you.
Hold on 1 second, Tito.
There's all different types of styles within the educators on the Epic team. And so there's a lot of really valuable information that they share from their own journeys as well, and their methods that you might find, you know, something resonates with you that you wouldn't have expected even. So get on the live sessions, you know, look at the recordings, get an Epic, get on demo, all of it.
Hey, Tito.
Yes, sir.
I think that was a fantastic answer to that question, because trading is an individual journey. Everybody has different emotions and experiences that will lead you to the type of trader you become. So that was a phenomenal answer. Another question in the chat is, how do you activate your 20 pips and dip indicator in TradingView?
Hold on 1 second, Rambus. Hold on, Tito. This right here, y'all, is a symmetrical triangle. Price from this top to this bottom is compressing. And this compression is going to lead to an explosion, most likely late Sunday night or early. So early Monday morning. So this price, you see, I tracked it down and I tracked it back up. So if I was saying triangle to somebody, this is what I'm saying, right? There's a 90, there's a right triangle as well, when price, which would be more coming off of a consolidation, more this triangle. That's going to be flat. Hold on. And then this one is going to be coming up from here. Hold on 1 second. I need to get some more of that. It's going to be coming from the beginning of this run, which is down here. And it's going to run up the whole, hold on, come here, girl. It's going to come up this whole run right here. And this one coming off of here would be a right triangle. Okay. And then so right around here, so if you take the rewind button and you put it right here. Well, even if you put it right here, no, I want to take that back. Hold on 1 second. Where's the back button at? Back one. So I would have drew it off of this back line and this back line. I would have this right here as my set, and I'll be looking for some level of explosion north to south at the end of this. And that's what it did. So that's the right triangle. And that's a symmetrical, this is a symmetrical triangle. So each industry have words that matter, right? So if you are setting up for, if it's Saturday afternoon and I'm looking at my charts, I see I got this symmetrical triangle, I know price is going to explode. I can get a whipsaw because I've seen a bunch of thousands of them, but somewhere between here, which is 1700 on the 21st, is going to want to do something, because it's compressing in. And that's what the triangle is showing you, the compression, where a wedge doesn't make it as defined, which is what Tito was drawing when the lines looked like they were parting or opening up. That's a wedge. And like I said, this industry has a bunch of things that as you learn them and can put them all together, you can have a lot of fun, but even more, you can keep yourself away from stuff that can harm you, right? So because this is a place of indecision, it might not be the best. Hold up. Then we have Brenda. So I have this symmetrical triangle, right? But I also have this key level. And I have price at this key level to the roof, right? It's at the top of price. So this would be a resistance. But it doesn't mean that price is going to go down. It just means that we're at some indecision and there's a couple of things happening now. And Brenda, you see that we have a 50 EMA. So we got the 50 EMA, price is kind of between the two of them. So you want to be above the 54 buy, below the 54 sell. So you don't know which one yet. Price is compressed. You get, without this top one, it looked like price is about to run up. But when you take all the information, you see that price has been compressing 1, 2, now 3 different spots. And all of this stuff matters when it comes to trading live. So sorry about that, Mr. Rambis. Let me go back. What was the question about the 20 pip indicator?
Thank you.
You're welcome. These, I saw you the 7. Don't let me off. I didn't do anything yet. I just wanted to come complete with that other thought that I wanted to make sure I help my brother Ron with, is that the words matter. So
Well, that walkthrough helped as well.
okay, perfect. So how to set the 20 pip dip indicator. I'm gonna pass that to you, Tito.
All right, let me get that up. So 20 pip and dip indicator, the first thing that you're going to want to do is go into your back office, log in at epictrading.com. And from there, you're going to, let me see here. Let me just pull up my screen here again. Where did it go? All right, there we go. All right. So let's go into the back office here just so you can see. So for those of you that do not have the 20 pip indicator on your TradingView account yet, 20 pips and dip. So basically, let's see here. And they've updated this a few times. So let me just make sure I have it up to date. TradingView authorization here on the menu on the left side. You're going to click on that and it's going to guide you through the process right here. Please watch the video carefully to find your TradingView username. You're basically going to submit information to Epic, right? That is your TradingView account information so that you can get access to the 20 pips and dip. automatically put onto your indicators list on your account. And you're going to see that. So basically come here to TradingView Auth here on the menu, follow the step-by-step process laid out for you. And then within a few days, you should have access to 20 pips and dip on your TradingView, at which point here, you're going to click on this little FX button at the top, and you're going to search 20 pips and dip, just like that, 20 pips and dip. It's going to pop up here, and it will be, you're going to, I mean, if you can find it, that means that you have permission. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it works. So follow the process, and then that's how you're going to get access to it. This little FX button on TradingView. So hope that answers the question.
We're at the top of the hour. We're going to pass it to Mr. Rambis, and then we're going to close this shop out. It's been a wonderful time. Mr. Rambis?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And as always, you guys have done a phenomenal Q&A, keeping it simple, straight to the point, and always a collective to keep it within the parameters of our system. So I think you do a great job of that, you as well as is just making sure I speak the same language, the same meaning, and the success. Anyway, we have 12 o'clock and 9 p.m. 12 o'clock, 9 p.m. We'll be doing a presentation for those of you who want to build the residual side of our business, the B quadrant, we call it. That will be at our ID of 777-434-6287. That again is at 12 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern today and tomorrow. And do not miss out on your Success Lab every single Saturday from our corporate executives who give out phenomenal training and insight at opportunity.epictrading.com. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern, opportunity.epictrading.com. Make sure you promote it out to all of your team members, whether they're on the trading or on the building side. They definitely want to be connected to the pulse of the company every single Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys again. I'll turn it back over to you.
Is there 5 p.m. today?
No 5 p.m. Nope, we killed the 5. We're going with 12 and 9 on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And just 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, the noon call, people are back to work and moving around and no more quarantine. So the noon call is kind of falling off. We're just sticking with the 9 p.m. Monday through Friday Eastern. And weekend blitz is 12 and 9, no 5 o'clock.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll turn it back over to you guys. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your weekend.
Tino, it's all you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Allen, Mr. Rambis. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. If we did not get around to your question, please bring that question into the GEP chat. That's what that chat is for. If you are not in the GEP chat, get with your sponsor and ask them how you can get in there, and we will get that squared away for you. Other than that, thank you all once again. Have a wonderful...
Real quick before you let everybody go,
yes,
can we open up next week? Can we open up with the question that was just asked? How do you back test? That's a great opening question next Saturday.
Sure. Yeah. Bring it in. And as a matter of fact, it would be great if we could put that in the GEP chat so we can have that on deck for you and at the front of our minds for the following week.
Yeah. So, Mr. Rambis, what Tito just said is we're tasking you to remind us that that's the question next week. So,
10-4.
Post-its.
Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll take that task. Thanks again, gentlemen. Phenomenal job.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you all once again. Take care.